Welcome to Real Talk Tonight. I am your host, Makayla Mikey Verbruggen. Today I am joined by the writer and director, Keira Wolfe, and the incredible actress of Women's Health Coalition, Abby Wolfe. They're sisters, by the way. How are you two incredible women doing today?
Doing great. Awesome. Yeah. How about yourself?
I'm doing spectacular. So, can you mainly, Keira, give us a rundown of what this project is and what its focal point is for the PSA?
Yeah, so just a brief overview of the project. The story surrounds a woman named Sandra. She goes into a doctor's office looking just for medical help with ovarian cysts that she has. And after speaking with the doctor for a bit, he goes and turns her volume down, which is a metaphor for silencing women's health issues in the healthcare system. She continues talking, thinking everything's okay. And then when she kind of comes to the end of her explanation of what she's been going through, he turns her back up, recommends her birth control, because that's the solution for everything. And Sandra's just left sitting there like, okay, what the heck? That is not the care that I deserve. So the overall kind of theme of this story and what I really wanted to come through was just that we do not have enough support for women's health care, and that it is something that is constantly being swept under the rug, and that we have to speak up about it, and we have to be upset about it as women, and also just as Canadians, as people, we have to be more upset about this. So.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of your crew members, you got onto set and they walked up to you and said, "Crazy story, I've actually experienced this."
Yes, oh my God, that was so crazy. Yeah, one of our crew members, they came up to me and they were like, "Yeah, I just had a doctor's appointment like a couple days before today, and I went in having a similar issue to what Sandra goes through in the PSA." And she was like, "Yeah, and basically I just got recommended birth control. We'll monitor it. We'll see how it goes." So you can't make this stuff up, right? Like this is something that's happening continuously, and women are going through this, and that was just so surreal. I was like, oh, okay, so what I wrote is actually true. Like I didn't, pull it out of thin air or anything like that. It was insane. It was crazy.
Yeah, I was in the room when it happened. I was like, are you kidding? Are you serious? So with women's health, obviously, working on this set, can you tell us anything about it that like making this actually, because you are also the writer of it. So you wrote it because of you're a woman yourself, and you see how the healthcare system is. But absolutely. Is there anything about this project that really kind of like stood out from you? Like, did you learn anything important through working with this company?
Yeah, one of the main things that the Women's Health Coalition really wanted from this project was not a sob story. Like, they didn't want to see a woman going through pain and having to be like, oh, like, I don't know what to do. Like, kind of like the classic damsel in distress, like, what do we do now? Like, that kind of thing. So I wrote it to be empowering, and that's why, like, at the end, Sandra gets visibly upset of the care that she's receiving. Because, like I said, like, we have to be talking about this. And as well, just to kind of, like, add on to that point, this whole project was actually inspired by my sister. I'm fortunate where I haven't gone through a lot of those health issues that women typically face in their lives. Abby has gone through that kind of thing. And I just really drew from her experience and my love for her, of course, because she's my sister, and being upset for her. And I know, like, you're probably upset too about the care that you've received in the past. In terms of what I kind of learned from the experience, I would say just like, as a director, just like I felt good about my communication, and like just always communicating with your team was something that really stood out to me, and making sure everybody's on the same page, everybody's doing their fantastic jobs in what they're doing, but really just keeping that communication flowing, I'd say, is a big takeaway for me from the project. So,
yeah. And Abby, this was your first Humber production. So what was it like working on a set for Humber with your sister? How was that?
It was honestly wonderful. I've been on quite a few film sets, and genuinely, like, this is probably one of the more like professional ones that I've been on. Like, everyone was on top of their game. Everyone knew what they were doing and where they were supposed to be and what their role was. And it was just, it felt so professional and so easygoing. Like, no stress at all whatsoever. Like, at least on my end. But yeah, and it was just a wonderful experience overall. And being able to work with my sister, like, that's like a dream come true. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you are an actress.
Yes.
And can you talk about like working, like having your sister as a director? Was that kind of like daunting for you? Because it's like, oh, I have to work with my sister. Or was it like, oh, thank God Keira's here?
I think it was definitely a little bit of both. I love working with Keira. Like, I think we work very well together. And but there was also kind of a sense of like, I really didn't want to let her down because I care and love about her so much. And also like the topic that we were talking about, because this is like also super personal to me, I really wanted to make sure that I was like doing it justice and bringing like an authentic performance. And so being able to work with Keira on this was just like incredible, because she was like so supportive, and any time that I felt like I did a take and I was like, that really wasn't it, she was very reassuring and just always supported me, even though sometimes I lacked confidence in my performance and stuff. So just being able to work with her was just absolutely wonderful. So yeah.
That's incredible. And because I was the production designer for this project,
Yes.
quick shout out to me.
Plug, Mikey did so good.
Thank you. So we did an 80s photo shoot
Yes.
for this project that you will see hanging in the background of the Women's Health Coalition PSA. Can you talk a little bit about like the location and how lucky we were with that, and like set decking everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Just for like the poster, quick shout out, my best friend Allison Fleming. She was part of the creating of that poster. Mikey, of course, designed it in the beginning, but just like the collaboration, I think, between the three of us creating that was like, so beautiful. I love it. Oh my gosh. But in terms of the location that we shot at, we were very fortunate. Another shout out, Theodore Chadjamaikalidis. His dad's dentist's office, we converted into a doctor's office. We had to like remove all the dental equipment, dental posters, all that kind of stuff. But we were really fortunate to have that location. They were really flexible, and you know, we were able to be there for the times that we wanted, and it was just a really great location. It was so small though. It was like you'd have to like shuffle around people just to get anywhere. But it worked. It worked for the space. You get that kind of sense of that doctor's office and what that feels like. And if anything, it kind of just adds more to like just being closed into this situation that Sandra's going through and everything like that. But yeah, very good location, very good times.
It was a pleasure being on that set, honestly. Like, I was again, this is the second time I've been a production designer for you, Keira, and working with you is always a pleasure. You are such an incredible writer, and this is actually your second, like, supporting women-based film.
Yeah.
So you're very passionate about getting the word out there that of topics that maybe are very familiar with us, but kind of go blindsided a little bit to the general public.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for doing this incredible project. Is there anything else you kind of want to like talk about directing wise with this project? Any setbacks that you hit?
One setback that we did have was we had gone in and set up all of our set deck on our first day. And then we got there on our shoot day when we had all our actors. We were like, okay, we're ready to go. And one of the pieces that we had hung up on the wall that was like, I don't even know what it is. It's like they check your ears and your blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. It's like fallen off the wall over the weekend. We were like, oh, that's not good. It didn't pose a huge setback, but that was just a little spooky. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's really
walking
not good.
into set that day and it's like, hey, by the way, this fell. It is like, what?
Yes, what are you talking about? Exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about the pre-production? Because we did the photo shoot. We did
Yes.
plenty of shops for outfits and everything. So how was kind of the pre-production aspect of?
Pre-production went really well. Another shout out, Olivia Bronwyn, Olivia Dreschel, for being our lovely producer and getting everything together. She did so great, and she's always a pleasure to work with. But yeah, pre-production was really good. I felt everything went really smoothly. This PSA is quite simple, so really the most complicated parts of it were honestly probably the photo shoot that we did and maybe some kind of last minute things leading up to production and our principal shooting. But honestly, pre-production, like just this whole project I felt went so smoothly, and I don't think that would have been possible without the people who were involved in all of the phases. Even right now in post-production, as we're kind of starting to wrap things up and have the final product, which will be so crazy. Everybody's just been so great, and everybody has been so supportive, and it's been so lovely to see how many people just are supporting this issue and supporting this PSA and helping it get made. It's just, yeah, it's very, very comforting and very nice to know that there's so many people.
Incredible. Well, is there anything else either of you guys would like to add?
I don't know, I feel like I've done a lot of talking. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I guess like thank you for like making this project, and like even though it's kind of like a personal story for me and stuff, like it's so funny because even like this story was based on something that like had to happen to me like less than a year ago and stuff. And then yesterday I just got I have like another like health issue going on, and basically my doctor gave me like 2 options for this thing that I've been like waiting for like 6 months for this appointment. And his options were I can put you on birth control, which probably won't work, or you can get surgery that also might not work. And those are your options. So like that, like this PSA is so important because those should not be my only 2 options. And if it was like thoroughly like researched and understood like what is actually happening, I would probably have more options than those 2 things. So it's so important. So like, thank you so much for like sharing this story through me and also giving me the opportunity to do this. And yeah, it's just important, and I'm glad that we're talking about it. So yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. Thank you again, Keira, for again reiterating, just making yet another beautiful piece of supporting women media. And Abby, it was my first time meeting you on set, but you were an incredible actress, and it was a pleasure meeting you, and I'm so glad that we were able to have you on set. You were a wonderful presence. You're like Keira. Whenever you walked into the room, it was like, light, airiness, calm, and it's like, so thank you so much, both of you, for being here and for, putting a voice to this beautiful PSA. And it was a pleasure working with both of you.
Oh,
yet again.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Mikey.
working with you as well.
Yes, you're
Thank
awesome.
you. I know I'm pretty great.
Yes, you are. So true.
But anyways, thank you guys again for tuning in. You can see these incredible projects at Hot Docs Ted Rogers Cinema on April 16th. The tickets are now live, so please go grab yours. Is that good? Okay.